Hello boys and girls, I am now back with another video tutorial. This is in your ELA coach. It's on opinion and evidence, page 116 in chapter 2 of your informational text. So we're going to be talking about the differences between opinions, claims, and facts. Let's look at each one so we have a general idea of what we're talking about. An opinion is a personal belief that can't be proven true. An opinion might be hamburgers are the best meal. Um, Chocolate ice cream is the best dessert. It's an opinion. It's something that you can't prove true, but it's a personal belief that you hold. A claim is a statement that something is true. An author will use facts to support it. So you might say that democracy is the best form of government, and you might use facts to support that. You might be able to back it up with evidence. And then a fact is something that is always true and can be proven. So New York is one of the states of the United States. New York City is the largest city in New York State. These are facts. You can prove it with evidence. So in all three will be important for this lesson. So as we do the coach instruction, we're going to read an article called Buy Local, and we're going to answer a few questions. We're going to look for clue words in the first paragraph that indicates the author is stating an opinion. So remember, an opinion is a belief statement. Underline one piece of evidence that supports the author's opinion about buying local. So we're looking for evidence that supports something. And then 3, what kind of evidence is the information from the USDA? How do you know? So we're going to look for those 3 things as we read. Okay, so let's get started. Buy local. From April through November, in a typical U.S. town, trucks pull up each Wednesday in the town center. A 3-block area is transformed into a farmer's market. You can buy anything from berries and tomatoes to homemade salad dressing. Buying fruits, vegetables, and other foods from these local farmers is the best choice for the environment, for consumers, and for the community. Buying local produce means that the food is grown near consumers. According to Local Harvest, an organization that promotes buying local, most produce is harvested about a week before it is delivered to grocery stores. Produce travels an average of about 1,500 miles before being sold. When people buy local, the food is fresher since it doesn't have to sit in a truck or a train for a week. If you can't make it to the farmer's market, another way to get local produce is to sign up for a community-supported agriculture program. You pay for a share of the harvest and can pick up a box with a wide variety of produce. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, calls the farmers market a local food system. Although the USDA doesn't regulate or set rules for buying local, it does support the practice. Farmers markets support local farmers economically and may also support local stores. Consumers who shop at a farmers market may also visit nearby stores. This boosts the economy of small shops. A farmers market is a step in the right direction for the health and financial stability of a community. Okay. So let's go back to the reading guide and let's start with number 1. Circle a clue word in the first paragraph that indicates the author is stating an opinion. So we know an opinion is a statement that something is true. Okay, but it's still, an opinion is a personal belief. Opinion is a personal belief that can't be proven true. So when I look back and I look for key words, if it's a personal opinion, I'm looking for words like it's the best, it's the worst, any words that show that the author has a belief about something. So when I look back, the word that I find in paragraph 1, which is here, and as I scan through, right here, buying fruits, vegetables, and other foods from these local farmers is the best choice. So best would be an opinion word. That's a clue word for an opinion because it's his belief or her belief. See that? So look for words like that. Number 2, underline one piece of evidence that supports the author's opinion about buying local. Well, when I look back, it says right here, buying local produce, buying local produce. I'm also looking for farmers markets support local farmers. I remember reading about that. If I scroll down, I see that right here. Okay, that's an evidence that buying local. Consumers who shop at a farmer's market. So it talks about people who shop there will be important. This boosts the economy of small shops. These are pieces of evidence that are important to support the author's opinion. And then number 3, what kind of evidence is the information from the USDA? How do you know? Well, I know the evidence from the USDA, they deal with agriculture and dealing with farming and the planting of crops. This is an expert opinion. So I would write that because they're experts in this field. The evidence from the USDA is an expert opinion. Because, how do I know that? Because they're an expert on agriculture. That's what they do. They're part of the one of the organizations in our federal government that oversee agriculture. Okay? All right, so let's look at one of the apply questions here. Which evidence from the passage best supports the author's opinion that buying from local farmers is the best choice? Now, anytime you're answering multiple choice questions, always look at choices you can eliminate. So I want that best supports, and I want the evidence. So all these choices, if you notice, they're in quotes, all from the text. So they've given you all the evidence here. You have to pick the best one. Well, when I look at the choices, it says, the first one says you can buy anything from berries and tomatoes to homemade salad dressing. That was an evidence, but it's not the best choice that supports the author's opinion. Now, B says when people buy local, the food is fresher since it doesn't have to sit in a truck or train for a week. That's a pretty strong evidence because the purpose of buying local is that it's nearby. You don't have to wait for it. It's not going to be shipped from far away. So I'm going to hold that one. C, a farmer's market is a step in the right direction for the health and financial stability of a community. That's pretty strong too. They mentioned that. And this might be another reason why you will support local. You pay for a share of the harvest and can pick up a box with a wide variety of produce. Once again, that's pretty good, but it's not the best choice. So when I look at B and C, B would be the best choice because when you think about his opinion, he says right here, buying fruits and vegetables and other foods from these local farmers is the best choice for the environment, for consumers, and for the community. And when you look at choice B, it really highlights that because you're actually buying food that's going to be fresh. It's not going to be sitting in a truck, and it's not coming from a long distance. So that's how you would answer that question. Then number 2, it says, name 2 types of evidence the author uses. Give an example from the passage for each type of evidence. Explain your reasoning. Now, I always like to use these little tips. So before I write, I'll think about the different ways in which an author can use evidence to support a claim or opinion. The author can do this by including facts, expert opinions, and eyewitness accounts. I'll reread the passage to see what kind of evidence it contains. I'll include sentences from the passage that show 2 kinds of evidence. So when I think about this question, the author uses facts and an expert opinion. That's what I want to write. Okay, so that answers the question, but I need to give evidence of that. So one piece of evidence that I can use is that it says the passage states, and then what I want to do is put in quotes, because these aren't my words, these are from the text. When people buy local, comma, the food is fresher since it doesn't have to sit in a truck or a train for a week. Okay, and then this is a fact. It makes it believable. Okay, and then what about the USDA? Well, they also said, although the USDA doesn't regulate or set rules for buying local, it does support the practice. And this is right from the text, so that's why it's in quotes. Anytime you take something from the text, put it in quotes. Okay, and that's the expert opinion that backs that up. So that's a short response. So what you're going to do now is you're going to read Move Your Mind on page 119. And then I want you to try numbers 1 to 5 and use this video as a guide to help you answer those questions. Okay, good luck.